Greetings, comrades! Welcome home to our Soviet Republic. This game was made for us, comrades. It was released today, just this afternoon in South African time. And I've been waiting for this for months and months and months. So, it's the game. The name of the game is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I'm sure you might have seen this on YouTube already. However, I only have a little bit of time to record, about 30 minutes, so I have to watch my clock very carefully. Because unfortunately, South Africa in many ways is quite like a Soviet republic. Because we are scheduled to have a blackout in my area tonight at 8 o'clock. So yes, this has been going on for over 10 years and, well, on and off, but now is again for the last day or so, the blackouts, or as they euphemistically call it, load shedding, if there's not enough supply to meet demand. Anyway, let's jump into our own realm, comrades. New game. So, this is a city building game, and of course it takes place in a fictional Soviet republic, which is ruled by yours truly. And we are going to put everything, I think, on rather difficult, just because, comrades, come on. We always say comrades, this is the game for us. Other people fake it. They just say, oh, comrades, when they're playing this game, but I've been saying it since way back. Anyway. So, our map area is Eastern Europe, medium heals blank. Overall difficulty, I'll leave that because I'll tweak it individually. So the money amount I'm going to put on medium. I played around for a few minutes with easy, so we'll put it on medium. The unsatisfied citizens' reaction I might put on easy, I'm not sure. They say here if citizens don't get what they need, they will be cross and react accordingly. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe we'll do that. Energy management, we will put that on. The day-night cycle, I think I might actually disable for YouTube's sake, because when it's night, we can't really see what's happening. Building fires normal, global events I can't enable yet. This is still an early access game. It's actually made by a very, very small team. 3 division. You can have a look at them. So it's really amazing what they've achieved with this game. And of course they'll still continue developing it in the year or two ahead. Pollution will enable. Year of start will go to 1960, so we have more time. I'm not sure if there's an end date to the game. Vehicle availability will lock according to year, and education will say complex. That means you need to teach children in a school, and parents of children under 6 can only work if they have a place for their children to go during the day, which is realistic. So we'll take this, comrades. Let's see what we get. Right, here we are, comrades, in our own Soviet Republic. Let's pause. I'll just put the volume down a little bit for my sake. 1 January 1960. Here we are. I think we get something like 20 square kilometers to play with. Actually, I want to restart because I want us to start with existing buildings already, and I did not enable that. So let me just do that again, and I'll see you back here in a moment, comrades. Actually, I'll do this with you because you can see here, I just had it like this. You have to click there if you want a starting population, which is again more realistic. So money amount we'll leave on medium. I think it saves everything actually, which is great. Right, so we can just jump into it. Go. Okay, we're back again, comrades. Let's pause that. Just close the settings menu. So now we see a pre-existing landscape here with cities and towns and roads and so on. So we have something to go on. Again, I think it's more reflective of reality. It's like we were just now getting into power in this country, and now we have a communist government, and we are going to rule this country according to that. But until this point it was not communist yet. So I guess that makes it more like Hungary, especially after the Soviet invasion of 1956, I think. Now unfortunately we don't get a mini-map, so it makes it difficult. We can only see a little bit of the map at one time, so it can get quite disorienting here. At any rate, we can use the borders to guide us. So this is, of course, one of our borders with the Soviet bloc, Soviet Union. Just keep going. There's another one. So I want to keep this to our east for obvious reasons, and then to the south. So this gives us just a direction to work with. So that's north now. And that is a border. I can just actually use the W key. So that's a part of the Western or NATO alliance. So that gives us a border with them. And of course to the west as well, which makes sense. So let's have a look. I want to start us near a relatively large city. Now I would like to get a full lay of the land first. I think we only have one river. I'm sure they'll introduce additional map types in time, but I think it's actually one guy that's developing this game. I think obviously the soundtrack is somebody else and so on. I think it's just a very small team, but mainly one person. I'll put his details in the description. Certainly he deserves a lot of love for this great work here. Right, so I think let's start near the river. Now, of course, I'm going to butcher these names. These are all Eastern European names, I think, of real cities, so don't be offended if I'm a bit lost with them. Let's just have a look. There's a nice flat area. A bit further north, perhaps. There's another river here. Okay, maybe we'll start somewhere here. Trirov. That could be our start. Why not? This is going to be our start, comrades. Again, forgive me, I'm making these names my own. So Trirov is the capital of our country, I pretend. And then Virov is another large town quite close by, so we can begin here. Now, of course, the whole country starts out without any development whatsoever, so there's no electricity, nothing. The one question I have, though, is how are these people getting food and alcohol and things like that? Because there are no shops here, only houses and, of course, the cathedral. So I'm not sure, but I hope they won't all run away if I can't supply them quickly enough. But anyway, let's start somewhere, comrades. So I think the first order of business is to just upgrade the roads in Trirov, and then we can also use the population here to begin working in our new factories. And of course we can start building prefab buildings on the outskirts of town. You know, I think that's more again reflective of real life. It wasn't just starting from scratch. So in the town I would like to use the best road, which is the asphalt with street lights and sidewalks. Now I did notice in my little bit of experimentation you can upgrade, but you have to do it in small sections. Every time there's like a connection you have to stop. Which is alright, it's not a problem. Just in little steps. Don't think we can upgrade the bridge. There we go. So at least the main road has to be paved, I think. We're ushering in a new chapter for this country, so let's begin on a high note. Definitely in that way as well. Just out to the outskirts of town. Right, I can just continue now. So at least we have something. I can say I've done something on my first day in office. So do leave some suggestions for the name of our country in the comments, comrades. We have to get an epic name here. Now, we don't have any power, so I was thinking we could possibly start by generating power. Of course, the easiest way is to import it from either the Soviet bloc or the Western bloc. And that's why we have two currencies as well. We have both rubles and dollars, but because we're a communist government, we have more rubles than dollars. So, but it's still very important because some things we can only buy from the Western bloc. So there's that. Actually, let's just upgrade a little bit more of these roads. Again, now let's do it without the lights in between the towns. And then back with the lights inside the towns. So this money is all coming from our ruble account. As you see, they're auto-built from rubles. No, yes, that's right. That's the right type of road that I want. Little steps, but I want to take pride in what we do, comrades. So it's not going to be as fast-paced as perhaps some other YouTube series on this game, but I want to enjoy it. I want to savor it, comrades, because this is like our own country. Right, a bit more. Okay, and then it goes out to other towns, so we'll continue that later. Right, normal speed, and there we go, a nice upgrade to the town. Now also, one thing that I noticed, we can't demolish any of the buildings, because if we try to do that and make room for new constructions, they'll say that we have to find other houses for these people first. So just cancel that. I deleted the road now. Anyway, that's easy to fix. Hopefully. And I just have to continue the footpath there. Right, back to normal. So I think we're just going to have to start building on the outskirts of the towns for now. Now, one of the things that I was also wondering is, if we build a shop in Trirov and use a bus system, can we actually bring other people to also shop at that same store? Or do we have to have one within walking distance? I assume people will ride the bus to go buy their basic necessities. Surely, why not? So I think, because we have to build on the outskirts of the towns, we might actually just build like a mini complex right here in between Trirov and Virov. Possibly. So let's have a look at that. So obviously it's under the construction tab, residential buildings. So here's where we build our many wonderful prefabs. But what we're looking for right now is a grocery store, so at least people can buy food and meat. Now the problem is, again, what happens to all the other towns? Are they not getting food? Are they starving? Or are they sort of taking a bit of a shortcut? I hope so, otherwise we're going to lose all of our people now, because they will try to escape from the Eastern Bloc. Now, let's try and build it here, actually. This is our capital. So I'm going to have another nice road. Some infrastructure is in the way. Just do it there then. Actually, why not? Yes, let's just continue. You have to right click to flatten the ground there. There we go. Just again, so we eliminate the bumpiness. Now I can't connect to the end there, unfortunately, so we have to escape to cancel that. So I'll just continue the road for a little bit more, and unfortunate, there's a bit of a hill in the way, so let's use the sort of leveling tool here. Not sure if that's actually going to help. Maybe if we press it on a low point. Not really. I'll have to think about how we're going to deal with that. But we can just start building a shop here. So let's say a basic grocery store. Let's not start too ambitiously. So as long as the building is yellow, that means we can build it. If it's red like that, it's too close to the road or something else, possibly, like a building. There we go. Actually, that was red and it's still built. Anyway, so there's our first store, and we should start seeing people rush to buy their supplies here. Now, how we explain this is the again, the game has to take some shortcuts at the beginning to just give you the opportunity to start. We can eventually become completely self-sufficient, which is partly, I guess, the goal of the Soviet bloc, in a way at least. That was some of the ideals there. So the people are coming to work here now actually, but I don't think they can buy anything until there is power. So at least we have created some jobs now. But the food and the meat are automatically imported, so we don't have to ship them here. At least that's how I understand things. Now actually, since we need power, let's have a look if we have any coal nearby. Now how we do this, I still have to figure out. I haven't done this yet. Okay, there's the coal. Coal mine. Alright, so what we have to do now is to look for a deposit. So you can see all of the dots are red. That means there's nothing here. Now it would be nice to have something like Tropico, which has a sort of a mini-map that shows you where all the deposits are. But I guess they haven't been properly surveyed in this country yet. Which again shows us the failure of the preceding capitalist government. Just have to shift scroll if I want to zoom out. We found something. Not a huge deposit, but I think it will be sufficient to begin with. So let me just go back in. Right, there's green. There's actually quite a bit here. Not all the mountainous areas will have it, but there is a few areas that we can use. Probably right in the middle, then we access all of the ones around that. And it's fortunately very close to where we start, so that's a wonderful thing. So I think let's build a road. I'm just going to use the normal asphalt road without lights for the countryside. We can actually channel it through Trirov here. Just upgrade the one with the lights again. Just to the edge of town. Then we use the sort of country road. I can also put the wireframe on so we can see the changes in elevation. Now where was the deposit again? Right, it's a bit more back there, so beyond this ridge. Okay, back to the road, and I think we're going to try and follow the terrain. So we'll try and get through this ridge. That's where we want to be. So can't flatten that, but that's alright. It's just our starting point. La Jodrod. Maybe someone can guide me there. Now we can't go straight down, it's too steep, so let's go around and see if we can come down gently. That might work. Luckily again we're not very far, so that's a great asset for us. And if we can start by generating power, that means we don't have to import it and pay for it. And we can also export it and generate currency. Actually, we might just come straight down the mountain. The vehicles are going to suffer a bit to get up there, I'm sure. And where's the connection? I like to curve the roads nicely as well. I've seen people not really care about that sort of thing, but I want to do it nicely. I care for my people. That would now be you, comrades. I'm imagining again you're living in here. Continue. So there's a lovely road, and now we need a coal mine. Now I think we also need a coal processing plant. As far as I know, we only have coal power plants, no oil power plants or nuclear plants. Maybe that unlocks later, or they will still add it into the game, possibly. Coal mine, although I wouldn't necessarily trust our people around nuclear power, but it's one thing. Now we have to put it somewhere. I think this area is our major deposits, on as long as it's inside that area. Right, it's in place. So now the road has to come up there. Just get used to all of the menus here. And I'll try and curve it nicely. Although that's a relative term there. Let's see. Road, level, and then, oh no, horrific. Some dreams just don't come true, I guess. But that's not bad. There we go. At least we tried, eh? So now that should produce the coal, but now where are we going to take the coal? Coal ore processing plant, that will give us... Let's just have a look here. What's the output? I guess this produces coal ore, and then this will refine it into actual coal that's usable. Now I'm wondering if I can build it there. Is that one of our deposits? I guess we can't see it there. And we're going to have to import a little bit of coal just to get the whole power cycle started. No, there's nothing there. I doubt if it makes much difference if you build on the deposit because they drill underground. So, but this is a nice area for the refinery. Although I should be looking at the in and outputs of the conveyor belts. So that's going to get an output there. So this should actually be like this. And now I keep getting messages of other people on Steam, but that's alright. There we go. At least we start. So now I want to continue the road again, and I don't have too long left. I have to really keep my eye on the clock here because the government is not being nice to me. I wanted to use a different word, but it's not. Okay, we have to just wait till that is built, and I'm also going to build the power plant here just because we want to keep the pollution away from the people. Most governments and most other players have not really cared about that sort of thing, but I do. Coal power plant. Now, of course, we'll need a nice flat area for this, but we happen to have one here. Now, the outputs are on this side, so it should be more like this. Then we channel it around there, possibly. Now, unfortunately, I can't align the buildings properly with the grid. Is there any way we can get around that? Shift obviously doesn't help. Don't think we can do anything about that, so we're just going to have to try and build it right here. Now obviously this is a very expensive way to start, especially since we don't have that much money, but this will be a good source of income for us because we're obviously not going to be using a lot of power at the start. Okay, now this is finished, so we're going to have to put a road in between here. Actually, we can just curve it out like that. Like that, and then somehow do the same thing here. Alright, that's not bad. That has some kind of orderly pattern to it there. Now, obviously nothing is happening because we need workers and power and all of that, but we just need to get the infrastructure in place first. So the next thing is the conveyor belts, and we don't have to drive things or truck things in here. So conveyor connection. Now, a conveyor belt doesn't like to have a very complex route. It wants to go in relatively straight lines, so we have to use the conveyor engine / transfer. And that gives us the input like that. So we'll put it right here. This doesn't need workers. They will tell you right there on the tooltip if it needs workers. Again, we can't line up to the grid. Oh, it bothers me a little bit. Actually, we should probably do it here because then it can go directly into the building. And that means we'll need one here as well. We can use the grid to get things more or less aligned. Right, one step done. And through here, now we have a problem there with the road being in the way. I just want to see, can I change the height of this? I can't really. In my short experiment, I was playing around with the oil pipes, and you can change the height of those. So I just want to get down here and see, because I still want this to look nice. Now I can't, I have to obviously select what I want first. I think trucks can get under that, or buses at least, certainly. Oh yes, much better than having them drive through the stuff magically. So that gets us the coal. That's a bit skew, but that's alright. Oh, not really actually, it's just the angle that makes it look that way. So that gets us the coal. Now we still need to have the refined coal sent to the power plant. Now this has to be a bit skew because the road is a bit in the way. Actually holding my breath when I'm placing this stuff. Then right there as well. Should we take this output or this one? Now we'll have more points there if we ever need to channel coal somewhere else, but now I can't build it here because the road is in the way. It's just because the pillar happens to be in the exact place that the road is. Well, das vidania, tavarish. Can always rebuild the roads again. Just like that. Okay, we'll put the bus stop here somewhere, I think. Then we can get all the workers to the power plant and to the mine and to the ore processing plant. We just need to finish this first, and I have 15 minutes left, but I want to end a little before then because the power might go off before that. Isn't it lovely to live in a place where the power goes off so frequently? Sometimes we have long stretches without any power problems, but then they still say don't use power too much, and they charge you like crazy for the power. And then we get other periods where suddenly we have blackouts, sometimes for weeks on end. Of course it's the rolling blackout, so you get your blackout at a certain time each day, while other people get theirs at other times. So the whole country, each city is divided up into zones. I live in zone 6 of Cape Town. Anyway, now let's see, we've done this, so the whole system here is operational. Now let's see if we can get the bus depot in place here, or actually the bus platform small. Now we can't use the small one because it has a worker or passenger capacity of 230 people. Now again, on the other hand, not all of them will be coming and going at the same time, I think, but it might be just safer to get the bigger one if we can. Might just put it here, and then they should still reach everything. We'll connect the footpaths here. Actually, hold up. Now this might be asking for trouble, but you see we have a road in and out, so we might just as well connect that into the road itself like this. Or we'll just put it here. No, I want to try this. It's gonna mess up everything. But why not? Our patriots deserve everything we can give them. Just there. Now connect the road again, hopefully. Okay, good. So that looks a bit better. I know the width is now not the same as the other road, but now it's integrated into the road network. So that's a good thing, I think. Right, so now let's think about this. Can this thing supply power directly to these buildings? Yes, it looks like it. Electrical connection. It will obviously have an output for the cables to go down to the cities, but it looks like it can give them power directly, so that's one less problem there. Then, how many people will we need here? 20 plus, it's 240 plus 15, that's 255. Not too many, I think. How many people live in this town, Virov? There's 95 just in that building. Now we'll have more than enough. Okay, let me just have a look at the time here. We have about 10 minutes before the lights go out. So actually I might just save this here, comrades. It's actually a good metaphor, because the lights are out in the game and they're also out in real life. So at any rate, we have something in place, and I'm definitely going to continue this series for a long time because I love this idea and this concept. So yes, comrades, have a fantastic weekend. Give me the name of our country here, and I will see you next time. And certainly check this game out on Steam. I can recommend it, even just from playing it for a few minutes. Of course, we have a little bit of glitches here and there, like the ground sticking out through the road. But hey, this is the Soviet Republic. It's a pothole in the road. It makes sense, right? So see you next time, comrades, and thank you for watching.